What if Deku was Tierk? Part 3. Last where we left off, Deku was staying the night at an old man's junkyard. As he wakes up, as he gets out of bed, what time is it? As he hits his head on the ceiling, ow. What was that? As he looks up, oh right, I'm staying at this garage. As he puts his hand under the garage and lifts the door, not breaking it, just using the right amount of strength to open it. As he gets out, as he sees the old man moving scrap early in the morning. As he yawns, what are you doing, old man? As the old man says, oh well, it's you again. I simply need to move all this pile, as he points to a huge pile of scrap that he has to take to a scrap plant where they reuse the old metals. Oh. Might as well just help. As he picks up like a huge piece of scrap and takes it to the trailer he has. I do appreciate your assistance, young man. No problem. After all, you let me have a place to stay for the time being. Do you mind if I stay here for a bit until I get my own place? Sure thing. As long as you help me around the scrapyard every now and then, you're free to stay here as much as you like. Thank you. As Deku would help the old man fill up his trailer. Well, I'm off to go deliver this to the plant, so have a nice day until I return. As he drives off. As Tierk smiles. Not a bad old man, I'll give him that. But the people in this era do need to learn their place. That Tierk will be the one on top. As his eyes glow a bit darkish red. As he goes on a walk, as he would go walking around, as he would be passing an alleyway, as he would see someone, well, with a cloak going through dumpsters, as he would have like a something tied around his eyes. Who are you? Tierk thinks. As Tierk takes an interest in this person for some reason. As he decides he's about to go down the alleyway, as then he realizes he's too big. As he shrinks down a bit. Much better. He starts moving through the alleyway. As we see the man who had just taken a bit of food from the dumpster. What are you doing? As the man gets scared and drops the food as he hides behind the dumpster. As Tierk is a bit confused. Obviously has a big sense of fear. I haven't even done anything yet and he's cowering. Don't hurt me, okay? I'm just trying to survive here. As Tierk Deku is thinking, I'm quite interested in what he would do. Tell me, what's your quirk? I have the ability to, well, basically, control items when I'm looking at them. Item controlling with his eyes. Can you be a bit more descriptive about it? I can control anything within my sight of view, so people don't like that. An ability to control anything within his sight. As Tierk Deku smiles. Why don't you follow me? As the man, who seems to be about the same age as, well, Tierk Deku, but the man obviously thinks Deku is much older by his appearance, and he's gonna play it off like he's in his 20s or something, because he doesn't want the public to know his actual age. Follow me. As the man reluctantly and doesn't want to get hurt follows Tierk Deku, as he takes him to, well, just a random food place. As of course, Tierk buys him a meal, and they simply walk away. Note, Tierk is wearing a cloak this entire meeting when he's in public and everything. As they're walking, as the man's eating like a burger. Thank you. No problem. Why don't you come work for me? As the man's confused. What do you mean? I needed some men, or manpower, to help run what I plan to do. And you would be a perfect candidate. Really? You will be getting paid, of course. As Tierk Deku then thinks, right, how am I gonna get money? You know what? That will be worrisome later. As the man agrees, so what will I be doing? You have a place to stay. Yeah, an apartment I barely can pay for. Well, good, because I can't really give you a place to stay, but I'll keep in touch. As he gives basically the man a place to go meet him at. As Deku would go back to the scrapyard. That was an interesting person. I forgot to ask his name. But he should be useful. As he then remembers. Yes, I know I didn't have to ask him about his quirk thanks to that quirk I absorbed that allows me to see other quirks. But still, it's interesting to know a person's quirk by asking them. Of course, I'll have to teach him not to be a scaredy cat. He's most likely has some sort of trauma. As Deku's thinking of that, he then remembers being, basically sold off to the Hero Safety Commission and used for their purposes. As he just shrugs it off. A bit visibly angry on his face, though. They're gonna pay for that. One of these days. As he starts making his way back to the scrapyard, he then sees someone trying to break in, as he simply grabs the man and lifts him up. Who do you think you're trying to do? Or what do you think you're trying to do here? As the man looks at Tierk and sees his eyes, as he's scared. I just heard there might be some valuable items here. Then Tierk gets an idea. As he sets the man down, tell you what. I can help you with getting some items. As the man is shocked. Really? Yes, but you owe me a favor. And I can get you more items to celebrate your victories. If you work for me. As the man's contemplating the deal, and there doesn't seem to be any downside of it. As he decides to accept it. Good choice. As then we hear Deku in his mindscape. Or his mind, of course. If he said no, I was going to take his quirk and then bury his body out back anyway. As Deku just simply opens the gate and takes the man inside and grabs a few items and hands it to the man. These should fetch for at least a decent price. As the man left, and about an hour later, the old man came back. I see you're still here. Yes, I went for a little bit of a walk. I can get rid of some of these junk items for you, Find the good buyers. As the old man's thinking, you know what, why not? They're just sitting here grabbing dust and, could be destroyed. So I don't mind you taking quite a few off my hands. Well, I do appreciate that, and I'm willing to help around the junkyard as compensation. Well, at least I can rely on that. As Deku would help load the trailer with more scrap before calling it a night. As Deku would, go back into the garage area and sit on the mattress. I'm going to need a better place to sleep, but for now this will have to do. As he goes to sleep, and we go about 3 months from there. Deku has gathered thieves from all over and decided to make auctions where he would have several items that were stolen and from the scrapyard where they would sell for money. As he had recruited a lot of thieves to his organization. Of course, we're going to a meeting with all these thieves and the man Deku met with the bandage around his eyes. Listen here. Y'all have been done excellent work for me for these past 3 months. But I will say we had a little bit of a rat in our last operation, so I disposed of him. Luckily, he didn't give any really important information out to the heroes, but still, nonetheless. And listen very much. I can promise you, if you do betray me, you will have a fate worse than whatever the heroes could do to you. I can promise you that. As we now get to know the name of the person that had the blindfold. And Tierk would call him, well, Controller, for the most part, but his actual name is Kevin. So, Controller, how has you been doing? Good, I've been keeping an eye on the auctions. Most of them seems to go through without a hitch. Good. Question, has you've seen anyone out of the usual at these auctions? Well, we did get that item from Island that we mentioned in the previous auction. A few people seem to have been interested. As Tierk's influence had grown throughout those 3 months he had started that organization. Note, do not sell it directly at the auction. Next time, do I make myself clear? As Controller understands, sure. Where would you like it? I will have it moved to a secure location. I can't have it being stolen before we get the money. So do I make myself clear? And also, remember our little deal for this one. As people were confused, as this started to happen about a week ago, where if it was a really high valuable item, like very high, there would not just be a high price on it. It says you would have to give up a quirk to get it, which a lot of people didn't understand this. Until someone won something at their last auction. And one of his bodyguard's quirks was taken by, Tierk. As he handed over the items. And of course, this spread like wildfire throughout the black market underworld of someone able to take quirks. Other than All for One. As Tierk is on his way back to, the scrapyard. As he gets there and sees that more scrap was coming in. Where did all this scrap come from? As the old man comes over, it came from Dagobah Beach. I had a few fellows hired to bring the scrap here. We also had a very wealthy man want to clear it up. Well, that's good to hear, I suppose. You need help sending it over to, the manufacturing plant for scrap. No, I am pretty sure I can handle it. It's not as much as last time. There's literally refrigerators here. Still, I don't need your help all the time. You've been here for over 4 months now. I don't mind staying here, old man. In fact, I've enjoyed my little time here. Little? You've been here for 4 months. Yes, I'm aware of that, but I have places and things I've been doing. So I've planned to upgrade the garage I'm currently in. Renovations, you could say. Very well, I don't mind. After all, I'm quite old. You never told me. Did you have any family members? Let me think. I did have a daughter, although it was long ago. In fact, I don't even remember her name. I guess that comes with the effort of being old. You start to lose memories. But she never took an interest in this place. In fact, the first chance she got out of here. So I've got no one to hand over the scrapyard to. When I'm gone, it would be handed over to probably, whoever's interested into it. As Tierk Deku would be thinking, no, this place is perfect for what I have planned. May I put my input on this? You can just call me Gramps. As Tierk Deku is confused, you have been here for a very long time, and you're a very young man. So you can just call me Gramps, I don't mind. Okay, Gramps. I think I'd be interested in taking over this place after you're gone. As this would surprise the old man. Really now? Well, I wouldn't mind you taking it over. After all, you've been such a good help to me over these past few months. Even when my health has been failing me lately. As the old man would walk into his house. As Tierk would look at him. As we see a vigil through his eyes, his health has been deteriorating. He really needs to start going to a doctor. As Tierk would pull a phone out of his pocket, as he's calling someone, as we see someone with glasses working in a lab. Yes, Tierk, sir, what is it? I need you to stop doing something and come here tomorrow. Why would that be? I've been quite busy developing a new item for sale. Listen, Slither. You've been a great help when I hired you 2 months ago. Of course, you've allowed me to do what I want and make items. And these items are selling for a very high price, you know. But what is it you want me to do exactly? I need you to check on someone's health. As this surprises, why would that you need me to check on somebody's health? Are you sick, perhaps? No, not me. There's someone I know I want you to check on. Of course, your name is a little bit spread through the underworld, so you'll be using a code name. So you'll come here as a regular doctor and check his health. If you find any abnormalities, you tell me immediately. After we leave. Sure thing, Tierk, sir. But I must know, what about that new synthesis I made? We sold it at the last auction, and it seems our buyer wants to request another dose, or at least a few. The sad part is I'm not done with the second batch. Don't worry, the next auction's not for another week. You have time. Oh, thank you, Tierk, sir. You know how to really help your subordinates. Well, you're one of my most loyal. With Controller. And the reason for that is because you let me do what I do best. Create items that can be useful. And you let me experiment on them. And I get to see the full test and full product created. Because unlike the Hirosaki Kamishi, who would never let me finish a product and take the credit for themselves. I hated working for them. Calm down when you're over the phone. You're yelling in my ear. Sorry, sir. Will you be at the next auction, perhaps? I will be at the next auction. I also have a feeling we're having a few unexpected guests at that auction. So I'm going there as extra security. Oh, do I go or not? It's gonna be debatable. You are ordered not to go, if my hunch is right. and my information from my sources are correct, we may have a hero or two among our audience. Oh, yes, it's best they don't find me then. After all, the Hero Safety Commission did put a bounty on my head a while back. Yes, and I did replace that bounty with a dead corpse to get that bounty off. It also helped me pay for getting the auction house. Or at least a few of them. Yes, I do appreciate you for that, sir. Now, if you excuse me, I have more matters to attend to. Of course, sir. As he hangs up the call, as he then looks at a text he had gotten. Another leak, eh? He picks up the phone. What is it, controller? Well, yeah, we caught someone trying to steal information from us. What would you like me to do with him? As controller, we see his new appearance, as he has more of a glasses vibe. He's got like black shades, a black suit with a black tie, pants, a full-on suit. Just looking at the person in front of him who's tied up to a chair and all that. Someone tried to steal the stuff we got from my island, so I caught him. Also, I caught the insider that led him to our stuff. We're sending the stuff to a different location. We're never keeping it in the same place for too long, sir. Good. After all, I can't have them messing up my plans. Once these auctions run well, and all that, my, influence will grow. And the controlling of the underworld will be mine, as I have partial control of at least, 1/5 of the underworld. And for your record, there are other people that control the underworld, like All for One, the Yakuza, the Liberation Army, like them. So he controls basically 1/4 of the underworld at the moment, and only being around for about 4 months. I'll be there to take care of him momentarily. Alright, sir. Controller hung up the phone. Looks like it's not y'all's good day. As he looks at the people, as one of them has I'm just gonna say, a sheep's wool. Has like sheep's fur, sheep's wool, basically, all around their body. And he looks at the man who's in a suit like him, but tied up, which was our betrayer in their organization. You very know well what's gonna happen, right? As the man looks up a bit in fear. As the sheep person basically is like, what are y'all talking about? What is he talking about? Our boss can take your quark. As he realizes, you never told me anything about that. You weren't supposed to know. This was supposed to be an in-and-out job. And yet y'all got caught. But I'll make a deal. Basically with you. Me? The sheep person is. Yeah. You wear this item, as he holds an item in his hand, and you work for us. You pay off our debt that you basically trying to steal from us. I'll convince our boss not to take your quark. As the man is contemplating. Alright. As the man that was the insider is like, you dare betray me. You never told me that we were stealing from this guy. You never told me anything about this. You said it was going to be an in-and-out job, easy to steal. If there's a way for me to get out of this unscathed, I'm doing it. As Controller snaps his fingers as they untie him. Note, we'll be keeping an eye on you. You betray us, your quark and your life is good as gone. As the man nods as he's escorted out of the room. Now we just sit and wait for your demise. And basically Tierk showed up, took his quark, and the betrayer got what he deserved. Tossed off a roof, making it seem like an accident. And not just any roof, because we go to the roof where he was tossed off of. As Tierk and like 4 guards and controller are standing over there, as he picks up the man he had taken the cork from. As he then just leans back while holding the man's shirt, as he aims a trajectory and sends him flying. As this man goes flying at like a very high speed. As then he hits the ground, like directly in front of a building, explodes into blood. As Tierk wipes his hands. There, problem solved. As he looks at his subordinates. Listen. Has any of you ever reported when the entrance exam of UA is? As one of his minions come up. It seems to be, I believe next week. Next week. That's when our auction's at. Well, this may be a good thing we do the auction at the registered time. We are doing this at night, sir, correct? One of his guards asked. Yes. As he looks at the man and the 4 people in suits have seemingly respect for Tierk. Listen, you 4. Only 2 of you will be at the auction house. I will be there as well. The auction house? What about the other 2? I need you to keep a certain eye on some things. Our warehouses. I don't want anyone stealing our items. Do I make myself clear? 1. I've become such a heavy person in the underworld where I control 1/4 of the underworld at the moment. And it's only taken me 4 months. So I expect no mess-ups. Got it? As they all nod in agreement, we shall not let you down, Tierk, sir. As they walk away. Will I be at the auction, sir? No, controller, I need you at a distance. I don't want the heroes to know of your quark, not yet. You're too much of a use. They'll learn they've messed with the wrong person at this next auction. Because I know the 2 heroes they'll be coming, most likely. As we see Tierk Deku's face, as he has an evil grin on his face. And who might those heroes be? You'll just have to wait and see. As Tierk would just walk away, leaving controller confused. And that is the end of part 3 of What If Deku Was Tierk. Hopefully you all enjoyed. Remember to like and subscribe for more.